Greetings everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Kathy Grimm and this is the Grimm Reader. I am going to try something and I want to do, so today is Monday and I leave this hotel very early. So I think I'll leave at 5 a.m. to go to the airport for my early flight. And so what I want to try and do, we'll see, I'll take you along for the ride as I try and finish this book before the Uber comes at 5 a.m. And if that means I have to stay up, I'm going to try and do that because I can sleep on the plane. The travel day is always kind of a lost day anyway, so I don't really mind being kind of sleepy on the plane. And I have other stuff can read there if I do finish this. I really want to try because I think if I finish it, I can leave it here, and it is kind of heavy. And I think I'll just look up some stuff when I talk to you all about it a bit more. But that's the plan, and so that's my excuse for buying things like Red Bull because I need to stay awake, and I don't want to be. And even if I get up early and have a little bit of a nap, I need to wake up and be awake when the Uber comes. And so I'll take you along for that. I'm going out for dinner with my sister one more time and Ralph, her husband, and then I have to go out to get something from the pharmacy that they ordered, same day ordering. So I have to do that. But other than that, I'm going to just sit here and read. It's 2 o'clock, 2:20, and I'm on page 738. And the book ends for me. There's a short afterword word. I think it ends on 885. 885, genau. So 738, 838, and then to 85. So it's a little over 100, which is not so bad. I should be able to do it, but it will take me some time because I'm a slow reader. So, even this book is going fairly, I read this much since I bought it, which was some weeks ago. So yeah, I'm eating my little messy lunch. It's a bit messy because it's sushi from the restaurant, which is from the supermarkets. It's supermarket sushi, but it's good. But I didn't have chopsticks because I left them in the bag, so I'm eating it with a fork, which is fine. I prefer chopsticks with sushi, but and I won't show it to you because it's kind of messy looking. But I'm drinking a yummy drink, just a soda concoction called Bitzel Mandarin Mango, and it's quite sweet, but it is quite nice. Refreshing. It's always been, with the hot weather, many drinks have been drunk by me, most of them fizzy water, and it's always a constant struggle to get enough in. I have to go and get it myself. So yeah, it's been interesting, but it's all right there. So yeah, I have lots of options. Even on a Sunday when everything's closed, there's the one store in the train station that's open if I need it. And yeah, okay, so I'm going to read 738. I will give you an update maybe before I go out to get the stuff from the chemist, and we'll see how things go. Wish me luck. Bye. Hello, here's my first update, which is regarding reading, not so great, but that's how it goes, right? So I read a chapter, which is about 8 pages, and then I just had to take a shower because it was just felt like I needed one. My hair was being really weird. And then I got sleepy, so I had a little mini nap, I think. And then I woke up and I ran to the chemist to get my German version of dry mouth spray because I need it. And I had gotten another one from them that I didn't like as much, so they ordered this one for me. So I went and got that. So now I'm in my chair again at 4:30 p.m. And my drink right now has changed from lunchtime. Now I'm trying this one that they had, Summer Escape limited edition pistachio flavor. And it's not bad. It's quite mild pistachio. So that'll keep me going until, and of course water as well, until dinner time, and I will battle on. I've just finished the chapter where they talked about the end of the hyperinflation. So 1923, I'm thinking, or 24, maybe 24, and stabilization after that period, before bad things, even worse things were to happen in Germany. So, and she's done this thing where the 20s were sort of described, or the wild times of the 20s, was sort of described in a very fragmented almost like that movie Slacker, where you just wander around and encounter interesting people type way, sort of imagistic writing in this pretty conventionally told story. But it's sort of like a sign of the times, so her narrative kind of changed with that a little bit, I think. And so now we're getting into what happens in after the hyperinflation. The family has sort of not done well. They've lost a lot of their money and everything, but people are still kind of just, there's not a sort of big reflection on the fact that they're all not doing well. They just kind of move on, and they've had to sort of rent out their big houses and stuff that they used to have. And yeah, so it's interesting to see how inflation has sort of affected these well-off people too. They're well off due to factory manufacturing and banking. So there's one of them is a car manufacturer, and then the others are bank people, I guess. And so they invest and they speculate on the bank, on the system, on the bank system. I'm not expressing myself well. So let me go back into a chapter that is entitled "The Name of the Little Town where it all began," which is not in Berlin, but in, I think it's supposed to be Upper Bavaria, Franconia, somewhere in Bavaria, the little fictional town. And I have a feeling it's going to tell us that some of the old people that the book started off with were going to pass away, I think. This is what I'm guessing. So I'll come back to you later on. Bye. Hello, time for an update. High time for an update. I didn't really mean to not come back until so late. We're getting up to 11 p.m. I've had a lovely dinner. I've said goodbye to my sister. We had a nice dinner and drink, and then we said goodbye. And then I started reading, and I figured out how much I have to read for every hour until 4. And I'm leaving at 5. And that includes the afterword, which I'm kind of want to quickly see if I can read it. And it's sort of sad because it is already happening, like the downhill part of these Jewish families. And one thing that she's doing really well is juxtaposing how they were very assimilated, both of them, even though they were Jewish. And you specifically the people from the town in Franconia, they started out as watchmakers, but when they come to the city in Berlin and become very sort of well off, and they're bankers and car manufacturers, and they have the one son who goes to England, they're very assimilated, very sort of part of society. But even in these early times, I don't even know if Hitler's come to power yet, but he's about to come to power. So it's going to be 33 in a minute. But what she's done is she inserted a few non-Jewish people who were somewhat kind of not really, they were in sort of subordinate positions, and perhaps not treated that greatly one of them wasn't. And then the other one was just someone who worked himself up to a higher position. So these non-Jewish people who were in subordinate positions have already kind of become Nazis and are sticking it to the family early on already. So one thing is, whenever she quotes from Nazi publications, the awfulness of the language and the fact that they kind of give these very, these people have names like Theodore or Klärchen or Lotte, completely German names. And then the Jewish, the Nazi publications always call them Shmuel or Isaac. They always give them, it's just very dehumanizing from the get-go. That's the thing about the Nazis. I mean, don't we know? And anyway, so it's going to be kind of a sad ending, but it is also kind of exciting to read through the night to finish this book so I can get on the plane having finished it. And I'm kind of drinking things to keep me awake, including Red Bull. And I'm not really sleepy at all. So it's exciting. I'm kind of looking forward to doing this. And I will check back. I'm on page I'm in the 800s already, and I have to read almost, not quite 20 pages an hour, which is doable, but I need to keep on it. And I don't have a lot of time, which is why I haven't made a video sort of earlier, because I don't want to get behind too much. But so I will go back to reading now, and I'll keep you informed as the night goes on. And at some point, if I get too sleepy, I'll have a little nap. But and then I have to make sure I do put the alarm on, so at 4. Yeah. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Good morning, everyone. It is almost exactly 5 a.m. My Uber driver is running a little late, which is fine. It's a little annoying, but it's fine. It's actually pretty nice here. Let me just give you a view of the other way around. It's pretty early. I'm talking quietly because there's already people around. But that's the train station. That was my mall that I got to know very well. And then over here, behind that building over there, is the other hotel that I was in. I like the train station. Okay, I'll turn back. So my plan worked out wonderfully. I got to finish my book and leave it there, and even looked at the afterward, which wasn't that interesting. And she did a pretty good job of, she didn't get too graphic about the ending, the sad ending of most of the characters. But because I think she wanted to kind of preserve their dignity. She finished it in 51 and had a lot of trouble getting it published. And she herself was Jewish, but she had the wherewithal to leave Germany fairly early. And I think she went to Palestine first for a while, but she didn't like Palestine, which I'm sure a lot of European Jewish, I mean, the desert. There's one character in the book who kind of loves it. So she then moved to England, I think. She went to England, so good choice there. Didn't Freud go to England? I think he did. So 50s was a strange time, and I need to do more research, but people didn't think a book about the Jewish Buddenbrooks would go well then. And so she sort of, and it's such a good book. I mean, it's not perfect. I can get into what issues are with it. But anyway, so I think I'll have to check into when it was finally published. Anyway, I'll stop right now. People are around me.